Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the KeithAndrewNetWork. This is 206. I'm here with Star and Marius, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
You're welcome.
Thank you for asking.
Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is, uncensored's my way of showing people that even if with a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities or disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still amount to something. And basically, I'm turning myself into an example, saying if I can do it, you should do it too. Don't let labels dictate who you're going to be and how you got to live your life. With that being said, half hour, 45 minutes of your time. And with that being said, what can you guys tell us about yourselves?
Well, I'll tell you what.
You start.
Oh, I'll start. Well, I'm Marius. I'm 33. I'm actually 34 in a few weeks. Well, actually next week. I suffer with a condition called Asperger's syndrome and ADHD. And it has been really hard, but I've always got there. It's like on PCs and technology and things like that, because I cannot read, I'm dyslexic. But now, I can do things perfectly. I don't even need an instruction manual or nothing like that. And obviously, through me overcoming certain scenarios, I still get nervous now and things like that, but I've got Kim to help me. And Star. Sorry.
That's life. Anything can happen live.
Yeah. Right. We deleted that bit. So, right. I met Star when I was younger, when I was 8 years old. And we just liked each other.
In the park.
It was in the park, yeah. And we lost contact for a bit. And then met each other again. And then I just went through I was driving a 125 across the motorbike, and next minute I go through a fence trying to impress her. So in that perspective, we've always bumped into each other, and we've been together for a very long time now. I found love in my life. So finding ways to cope, should I say, not really overcoming because I've never overcome it, but finding ways to cope, I wouldn't have met Kim. So she's absolutely amazing, love of my life, apple of my eye, and everything like that. She's absolutely fantastic.
You know, you keep referring to her as Kim instead of Star. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm just pointing that out.
Sorry. It's one of them, isn't it?
No, don't worry about it. It makes it more entertaining.
Yeah. I keep on referring to Kim as Star and Star as Kim. I am always getting mixed up and everything like that, but she's absolutely fantastic. I cannot say one bad thing about her.
Alright, now it's your turn.
I'm 31. I have dyslexia. What sort of things would you like to know?
Alright, well, you can do a long speech like your boyfriend did, but you have as much time as you like. But I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting questions, and then I'm going to pass it over to you, and you can ask me anything you want. But starting off, each of you will take time, as much time as you like to answer the questions. Like I said, no time limit. But the first subject I'm going to ask you is, how was your lives growing up?
My life growing up was horrible in certain ways, as getting mentally and physically abused, stuff like that. Just through bullying with my dyslexia.
Mine was I got bullied at school and everything like that because I had learning difficulties. It was a condition called somatic pragmatic disorder. I didn't know exactly, it was Asperger's back then. And through that I got battered, I got caned by bullies at school. There's one incident when I was younger, and I actually had a big massive duck off, like bruise on my stomach. Got black eyes, got knocked out, and everything like that, and it was absolutely horrible. I would not wish my worst enemy to, what's the word, to undergo what I went through. But my parents were fully supportive of me. I went to 5-star hotels every weekend with my parents. So if I had every single day like it was at that 5-star hotel, I'd love to prefer it. But obviously, unfortunately, we've got to go back into reality where I did get bullied every day. And that was all the way through college and different things like that. But now I'm a lot stronger. I'm a lot
more confident.
Yeah, I'm a lot very, very more confident. When Kim met me, Star met me, I was an absolute mess. And through Star, she's actually helped me a heck of a lot.
Alright, now Kim / Star, it's your turn.
Anything what you want from me?
Or if you don't want to talk about that one, we just skip it. The next subject I'm going to ask you is, how were you ever in the States, number one? And how was your high school and college years?
Okay. Well, I would love to be in the States. I've always wanted to go to the United States.
Yeah, I have as well.
I find American people absolutely fantastic. They treat you with respect, honour and dignity. And I wish we had more people like that in the UK. At school and college, as I said before, it was a bad experience. But then I got suffered with actually a nervous breakdown in college. And people were bullying me, but as I said before, through Star, she helps me out through a lot of things. Basically, we were like childhood sweethearts without even knowing it, basically. She's absolutely fantastic, and I cannot imagine my life without her.
Alright. Well, when you guys were in college, what were your majors? And were you study nerds or party animals?
A bit of both.
At college, I was actually a party animal. But I got a BTEC National Diploma in Performing Arts, acting and dancing, and I also did theatre work as well. In college, got it was called stage technology. It was called, and it was absolutely fantastic. I loved it in the theatre. I loved everything doing about it. That's how I know a lot of things today. I would love to get back into doing like performing arts and doing like loads of things with like within the theatre itself. So I would love to do things like that. High school didn't really get much. I got 7 GCSEs, but those were F to G. But the only thing what I did get, which I'm really, really happy about, is childcare, which is a D because I have 2 beautiful children.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Now, here comes the other question, and I'm going to ask you some political stuff, then I'm going to pass the show over to you. But for people who want to know, I interview everyone and everyone. Actors, actresses, models, CEOs, professional wrestlers, anyone and everyone who wants to have a normal conversation. And I was interested in the whole Gothic thing when I was back into high school. unfortunately, I'm not the same person who I was then. I was because I would have started my talk show a lot sooner, and it would have helped me express myself a lot sooner. But if I ever have to do my life over, then I would know the do's and don'ts. With that being said, I can't always get certain people on the show that I want, and I pride myself on giving every single person out there an opportunity. Doesn't matter, white, black, Asian, Gothic, not Gothic, handicapped, not handicapped. Everyone deserves an opportunity. And I think, well, no, absolutely. And it's like, well, if I have this opportunity, I want to give back. And I want to give people the same opportunities that I never had. So, with that being said, I interviewed everyone, and I wanted to get some closure on the Gothic part of my life. But, like I said, I interviewed thanks to you guys, it's 206. And I was like, well, I interviewed over these handful of people. Why not go back to something I really liked growing up, my whole high school years, and started back in 2004. Actually, no, I take that back. 2003, and then I closed the door about 2008, 2009. That's when MySpace stopped doing their thing. It's when they did the new crappy format. It's really bad. It's really shitty. I miss the old MySpace. And the reason I bring that up is I had over 1,000 Gothic friends, and I was like, this is a great opportunity. I had a 500 Gothic friends. Overall, it's like 1,000 friends, but half of them were Gothic, half of them were people in bands. It's like, this is a great opportunity. Why don't I have my talk show? I did, but it was high school based, and it was limited. I couldn't have guests, and I couldn't have people calling in, and there was no Skype back in 2003, 4, and 5, and maybe 6. I don't know when Skype actually officially came out, maybe 2008, but I was recovering at that time. Long story about that. But without going on a big rant, I was into the whole Gothic thing. I love Gothic girls. Hey, girls are girls. It doesn't matter, whatever. And I said, you know what? I think this would be a perfect opportunity to get some closure on my life. And say, I got the opportunity to become friends with some. I interviewed some. Okay, now close the door and find something else. Not close the door as in forget about it. Just say close the door as in I accomplished what I wanted to with that. If that makes any sense.
It does, yes.
So the question I'm going to ask you is, what influenced you to get into the whole Gothic thing? And is it the stereotypical of you have to be mentally disturbed or, retarded to be Gothic? Because that's the whole stereotype, people on social media like to say that, I'm not, it's okay, it's not okay to say the retarded word, but because that's what I'm labeled, I can get away with it. But politically correct, it isn't okay. But going forward, what's your opinion of being mentally disturbed? Do you think that's a stereotype, or do you think people just make shit up to stir things?
People, they are scared for what they don't understand. From, say, like, people, you have to be retarded, or for me personally, I don't like that word, and it is not true. You are who you are, and if people cannot accept that, then no, that's the reason they're not part of your life. I got into the Gothic scene through my auntie. My auntie was post-punk. I was actually there about 5 years old, listening to Iggy Pop and everything like that, like dancing over to, I think it was Lust of Life by Iggy Pop. Absolutely fantastic singer. And within that perspective, I got into the whole Gothic scene from my auntie. Now, it's who I am. It's my thing. And at the end of the day, it's anyone out there who can be Gothic and things like that, but it's actually in your heart. So, as in, like, say, like, Gothic is a subculture, and as I said before, people are really, really scared for what they do not understand, and that's where people unfortunately get attacked by people who are not into our scene. We call them chavs, scallies, or whatever. But there is an incident where I got attacked even. I was going down someplace where I live, and some guy says, "Yeah, mate, got 20p." I said, "I'm sorry, mate." Obviously, he's on makeup, so I started going through my pockets. I said, "What are you doing?" Next minute, he just like headbutted me, and I've actually got teeth missing. So he dragged me by my leather jacket, pulled me down to the floor, started beating me, kicking me in the ribs. And this was about flaming Nora. This was about 3 years ago. And I was actually scared for my life. So, yeah, that was really, really bad what happened.
You've actually had a friend that got murdered.
Yeah,
I've
I've had a friend what's been murdered for being a goth. I'm not mentioning names. But it's not good. Not good at all. But the thing is, it's not going to stop me from being who I am. This is myself, this is me. And people don't understand that, well, there's a problem with that. It's their problem, it's not mine. I found who I am, and I found my friends who I want to be with. And yeah, fine, I'm a little bit mad, party animal, different things like that, but I'm a very responsible parent. And that's the best thing to be. And that's the way that life goes forward, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
So, within that perspective, I wouldn't say anyone is retarded to be Gothic. No way in a million years. That is just a load of rubbish, what people say, personally. They are decent people, and that's about it, basically. Star, would you like to say anything, darling?
You said it all.
I said it all? Oh,
you
gosh.
said it all. Am I going to get a word in now?
Go on, you can talk now. Sorry, sweetie.
Yeah. I've basically been a goth all of my life. My family are all goths. So, yeah, I've had no choice. I don't know what to say.
So experiences, like who you know, and things like that, obviously, people, and different things like that.
I got a subject for you. I know a lot of people just ask me anything. I'm gonna what's the last 10 looking at my timer. The last 13 minutes of the show, I'm gonna pass it back to you. You can ask me anything you want. Like you're expressing yourselves as you are. So, you have any questions you want to ask me?
What is it like, obviously, what is the law like over in America for people who are alternative? What is the law like there? Is it, say like here we've got, it's actually labelled here as a hate crime, to hate us type of thing, to attack us, to hurt us and everything like that. It's actually been classed now and categorised as a hate crime. What is it like in America?
Overall, or just for Gothics?
Overall.
Alright, well, I'm more punker than anything, but, it's pretty much the same thing. Right now in the media, they're all obsessed with the trends and genders BS, and it's kind of like, this is why you can't take the news seriously. You know, this is where it's like, you know, I draw the line at being gay. I'm not. But I said, I have nothing against gay people. But, and I don't have anything against transsexuals. You know, do whatever you want, but keep that shit to yourself. I have enough issues. I'm trying to get through one day to another, trying to get my talk show going. You know, one day I'm going to be on my own, and the last thing I need to know is some BS, a guy turning himself into a woman or opposite. That doesn't impact me, but I don't care about that. If you got to do it, terrific for you, but that's not news. But, you know, everyone's obsessed with the negativity and all the bizarreness. Basically, what it comes down to is this: the world is a big mental asylum. You know, it's basically, you know, God takes the good ones and leaves us the screwed up ones. And I never really thought about that, but, you know, looking at the world, you know, with all the wars, with all the poor, with all the poverty, you know, with all these screwed up nationalities around, it's kind of like, if this is hell, I can't imagine hell being any worse. But, you know, I don't know, but that's all in the politics. But for music, it's pretty much like the same everywhere else you go. You know, you got good people, you get the screwed up people. But basically, you can't live your life in fear.
No.
You know, you're gonna have some set rules of saying, I'm going to live my life as this. You know, I was labeled, give you a perfect example. I'm labeled as mentally challenged and retarded. But doing this talk show, I'm proving to people I'm breaking the fourth wall, I'm beating the status quo, that, you know, you may label me as this, but I'm going to prove to you, with every breath I have in my body before I die, that I'm going to show you I can still amount to something, no matter what. And people may say, oh, you're retarded, you're this, you're bad, you're transsexual, you're a faggot. All of that, it's basically people reflecting themselves onto you. You know, when someone tells you you can't do something, they're basically saying, I couldn't do it, so why should you do it? Like, you're a father, I'm not. Why should you be a father and I can't, you know? Or you're smoking a cigarette and I'm not. Why should you smoke a cigarette and I can't? So you have these people who like to manipulate the system, who like to manipulate and be control freaks, and saying, if I can't do it, then you shouldn't. Or, you know what, this is how the world is and you should follow like everyone else. You should be the sheep and you shouldn't stand out. And it's, you know, in the United States, England, Japan, whatever country you're from, whatever language you speak, it's all the same stuff. It really is. There's really no difference. All that matters is you have a good life, you do the right thing, you go the extra mile, and you make a difference in someone's life. It's the thought that always counts, even if all people make fun of me for that, but it's true. I always go the extra mile, and it's the thought that counts, and you guys are a perfect example of that. You know, for my talk show, I'm always looking for people. I'm always looking to give people opportunities. If I was an asshole, I wouldn't have gave you guys an opportunity, but because I'm a good person, it's like, well, everyone deserves at least a chance to prove themselves.
Oh, yes.
And it's basically about that. It's just saying, hey, you labeled us mean, this and that, but titles do not dictate who you are.
That's it, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, within what you said before, like, as in titles and different things like that, Gothic, really, to me, and being alternative, is not really a title, it's who you are. So, like, someone's like different genres and different things like that. Yeah, fine. You are, as you said, it does not dictate. But within saying that, you can't help who you actually are yourself. So within that perspective, there's like you've got to be who you need to be, basically. So I see exactly where you're coming from. So what is it like in, obviously, like, because I've wanted to visit America my whole life. I really have. I think, like I said before, fantastic people who basically all clued up in England. I know, like, you obviously call England the motherland or something like that, mother country. Some Americans call England that. How would is it true like the Americans love the English? Is that true? Sorry, I've got to ask that because I've heard loads of rumours before in the past. Yeah, some of the Americans hate English. I'm like, what? You see where I'm coming from?
All right, well, I'm going to answer that, but I also have a question for you.
Okay.
You know, girls in America do like a strong guy with a British accent. I like the accents in different languages overall. But I think, you know, it's some parts of it, you know, there are people that say, why are you giving acting roles that Americans deserve to people with accents, the British accents? Because you think about it, all the villains out there are British. You know, I don't know if that's like a stereotypical thing, but it's.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true. What's your opinion about that?
My opinion really is like uh, I wouldn't say people are villains from England. Uh, it's like people's if a person's really truly and utterly evil, they are evil. It doesn't matter if you're English, Japanese, French, American, different things like that. If they are truly evil, it's not really an accent, really, if you see where I'm coming from.
Right.
So really, I would say that's stereotypical within that perspective. How would you like to ask anything, man? Put you on the spot here. Always good. No.
Okay, well, yeah, it's about the question I was going to ask you. Is it true that the British hate the Irish or the Scottish?
No. Definitely not true. I've got a very good friend who's in Scotland, and my family originated from Ireland. So it's not true whatsoever. That's a load of rubbish. Obviously, with me being from Manchester, there's obviously, as you go around England, Scotland, their accents are totally different.
Right.
So you've got Liverpoolians, people from Liverpool, you've got Londoners, you've got the Scottish, you've got the Welsh. So I would say everyone is, I wouldn't say hates, no. I would say everyone is eager to know about their accents and different things like that. But I would not say hate people, no. That's totally wrong. But everyone's like opinions to our own, but it's in my opinion, I would say that's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, wrapping up our talk show segment. I can't even talk. Wrapping up our talk show segment, I just want to say thank you for giving me the honor and privilege of interviewing you guys from a talk show.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.